Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is looking at 3 things that Aquarius people do that are on the neurotic side. I'm doing a series on this, like the quirks of each sign that can make them seem a little goofy at times. And I started with the sign of Libra. And I noted that Libra is an air sign. Well, Aquarius is an air sign as well. And what I said when I was talking about Libra is that the air signs, because they are connected to the intellect, and that makes them view life from an abstract position, meaning that, for instance, the earth signs, they tend to gravitate towards things that are tangible, that are down to earth, grounded, if you will. And so that's what an earth sign like Taurus would say, that's real. And they would, have a point to make about that, because if you can touch it, you can smell it, you can taste it, all of those things are proof of something. Like some people, they always need proof, and they mean, from the 3D perspective about whether something is actually valid. And with the air signs, they're coming from the mind, so it does become detached and abstract, and it's intangible. And so air signs have a life of the mind, meaning that they tend to enjoy things that stimulate their intellect versus the things of the world that are on the physical level. And I'm not saying that, air signs can't enjoy anything that's on the physical or material level. I'm just saying that there tends to be more of an interest in the intangible things. And so, what can happen as a result of this is it can make Aquarius people in their head a lot. And that can show up in many ways. It can show up as being rather spaced out. And even though Aquarius is known for its high intelligence, there still can be that kind of ungrounded quality. But what I'm talking about when I'm talking about being neurotic is more about anything, like let's say on the emotional level that an Aquarius person is feeling. They can create this concept that is supposed to represent what that means, rather than actually just feeling the feeling. So a water sign person is coming to life through their emotions. So everything is kind of filtered through that. When the mind has that filter and everything is running past the mind, it can really create such a detached approach that the person kind of loses that feeling for whatever is going on, and that can show up with other people as this aloofness, and that can be kind of off-putting to others. And the more emotional that someone else is getting, or if even the Aquarius person themselves is dealing with a very emotionally wrought situation in their life, they may become more and more distant from their own emotions. And that's what I mean by distortion, because if you like impersonalize these things, it becomes very hard to stay connected. So there's like this disconnect that the person can go around with. And that can lead to problems with relationships, for instance, because there may be a lack of empathy to a large degree. And really, what the Aquarius person, it's not that they're trying to be unkind or anything like that. It's just, it's almost like a defense mechanism, I think, in some cases. The second thing that makes Aquarius people neurotic is this contrarian quality that can make the Aquarius person take an opposite position, do an opposite thing, anything to avoid conforming with others. And I really, I was thinking in terms of a group situation of not wanting to be a lemming and just like joining in with everyone else. But I think that this can happen even with individual situations where somebody, says something to the Aquarius and they have to take another stance or they have to, do the exact opposite. Part of this is because there is a great rebellious quality in Aquarius that is very much like, my way or the highway. But it's funny because Aquarius is always aware of the collective and feeling a sense of responsibility because Aquarius rules that sector of the chart, the 11th house of friendships and groups and the collective itself. And so that's what makes it so hilarious is that this sign that is the collectivist, wants no part of a group. It's very much the contrarian. And the problem, you might say, well, what's wrong with being an individual? There's nothing wrong at all as long as the person is not being reactive. And I think sometimes this is exactly what Aquarius is doing, is that they just feel that like any time that something is popular, something is embraced by a lot of people, that there must be something wrong with it. It's funny, there is a certain snobbish quality that Aquarians can have that's of the intellectual variety and because Aquarius people often are ahead of their time. And so they tend to be the trendsetters, not the followers of trends, but the people setting the trends. And so they may have, just like any other sign can kind of have those ego issues, the Aquarius individual can feel that sense of ego in terms of being the one who is starting the latest trend, who is like on the cutting edge, if you will. And I think we've all, dealt with people that they kind of like look down on other people for being such conformists, and they are like so edgy. They are, you know what I mean? They're like on the leading edge. That sounds like something Abraham Hicks says a lot. And um and yet they want to be the people that are egalitarians, which means that they are like everybody is on equal footing. So how do they reconcile that? Well, everyone has the potential for being hypocritical or contradicting themselves. So Aquarius is hardly the only sign that might do something like that. But certainly they may feel that sense of conflict within themselves, that they do have those tendencies, which we could even, talk about Leo, how Leo can be arrogant sometimes, feeling, superior to others. I'm talking about the imbalanced version. And that's really what um, these videos are about. You could even say like the shadow side of a sign. I'm saying neurotic because I feel like it just happens to be a way that the person is thinking that is working against them more than anything else. The third neurotic thing that Aquarians can do is be afraid of emotional intimacy to the point where they shut off very abruptly during a relationship. And I'm debating on whether I'm going to I might say the sun and the moon sign for each of the signs, because I think that sometimes the moon is really dictating this. So maybe Aquarius moon people, yeah, I might do something like that. And why does this sign do that? What we could say about this is that Aquarius, being an air sign, doesn't want to get emotionally um, riled up, but maybe that's part of it. There's like an aloof quality with Aquarius in particular, where they're very friendly. They can be very friendly, but they can kind of be standoffish. And even in relationships, the person may try to maintain their freedom to an almost hilariously bizarre extent. And Aquarius is known already as being quirky, or you could say eccentric. So some people may just think that's par for the course, for Aquarius to be a contrarian, to do things differently than other people. But really, that love of freedom can be the driving force. But Aquarius can take it to a whole new level, is what I'm trying to say, and almost have an irrational fear of what it would mean to, like, for instance, live with their partner. Maybe it would be one of those situations where the two people live separately and then they meet up with one another. And there was a famous kind of setup like that between Woody Allen and Mia Farrow. Now, Mia Farrow is born under the sign of Aquarius. And as I recall, Woody Allen, whose son is in Sag, has I think he has I thought he has Aquarius rising, but it might be his moon sign. So he has it prominently as well. And that means that, and they had a setup where they were living in their separate places. They never lived together when they were romantically involved. They never lived under the same roof. And, of course, that infamous situation with Woody Allen ending up with Mia Farrow's adopted daughter, who, was of age at the time when he got together with her, but she was Mia's adopted daughter. Um, now he ended up being with this other woman, and but never did have that sort of relationship with Mia. Because Mia is an Aquarian, she might have signed onto that because she may have also felt that that was a good thing. Trust me, we'll get to Sag. I'm a Sag myself, so every sign is going to have to be in the hot seat. But yeah, that's what I feel is that Aquarius can take this desire for freedom to a ridiculous level where they may try to arrange things in a way where they don't have to have that maximum exposure because they fear that they're going to be controlled, they're going to be smothered. And I totally understand as a Sagittarian how an Aquarius person might feel and why they might be motivated to do such a thing. Part of why I'm doing this is to show that other people may not understand why the Aquarian is acting like this. And it's possible that that other person may blame themselves and think that the Aquarius person doesn't think very much of them. So this is why it gets a little bit tricky. So, anyway, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. I mean, when I say I hope that this resonated, well, maybe I don't hope that this resonated because it might not be things that you want to have in your life, that you want to be if this is your sign. But in any case, if you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.